Welcome on in, Brooklyn Net fans, NBA fans. A bit of a disappointment. A little bit disappointed, to be honest with you. The Brooklyn Nets lost to the Miami Heat. Now, if you've been following my channel, my videos, huge Brooklyn Net fan. Just want to talk a little bit about the game and, obviously give my thoughts going forward. Pretty much as far as the game goes, it pretty much, picks up in the second half. Brooklyn led 49-42. And Miami at that point missed 15 of the first 16 tries from three-point range. That was all during the first half. The Nets closed the half on an 8-0 run. And the lone bright spot in the opening 24 minutes was 24 minutes for Miami in the half was Wade. Had 20 points. Looking back at it, he had more than any two players combined. That point, 7 for 12 shooting. What can you say about him? Just like Spoelstra said, he is a playoff warrior. Eventually, though barely, and that's the thing with these games, is that the Nets really were never blown out at all. It's just unfortunately that they couldn't, get the job done. But eventually Miami broke through, but it took most of the second half for them to finally beat out the Nets. Whenever Miami put a run together, Brooklyn found a way, to keep things together. Layup from LeBron James late in the third got the Heat within 3. But then again, a minute later, the margin was 8 again by the Nets, an example as to what I was mentioning just now. Free throw from James, about 9 minutes left, cut Brooklyn's lead to 77-73. Then less than a minute later, it was 82-73. So as you could see, as a Net fan, I thought that Nets would close this out and keep the series going. It's unfortunate, kind of the second half, fourth quarter in particularly, that's where we start to unravel. And that lead that made it 82-73 was a three-pointer by Pierce, who got fouled by LeBron James very, very late in the fourth quarter with about 9 seconds left, and that wasn't called. A missed call. Conveniently. Three-pointer by Bosch made it a 4-point game again. 2 Brooklyn possessions and 0 Miami stops later. It was 86-78. So again, we're still winning. After a great jumper by Johnson. Joe Johnson on his game, and quite honestly, it seems just watching the game that Joe Johnson was really the only one that showed up. Really the only one that showed up. And when Johnson connected on another tough shot with 4:49 left, it was 91-83. And honestly, again, there you go. Once again, I sensed that the night would be theirs. However, what happened next is that the Heat scored the next 12 points. And that was pretty much all she wrote. And we lose. We go home. We had spent $180 million in salary, and luxury tax was supposed to bring home a championship. Instead, we only got to the second round. That was a return on our investment. You gotta wonder what will happen with Garnett and Pierce. For what it said too, I look forward to having Brook Lopez back next year. The guy is unstoppable, an all-star. The man just can't stay healthy. I remember at the beginning of the season when I did a video about Jason Kidd as the manager. It's like, yeah, not so much about it. And I do want to actually discuss the hiring of these coaches in the next video. In particular about the rumor now with Derek Fisher going to the Knicks, or that's who the Knicks are scouting. But I was pretty much against Jason Kidd becoming coach rather, because he had no experience. But to me, it says a lot where he's able to take his team, a team that had one of the worst records in the beginning of this season, to about the All-Star game, to versus after the All-Star game, where his team had one of the best records. Take a look at January. So I'm happy with Jason Kidd. Interested to see in where the season, next season, goes from. Who we keep, who retires, who do we sign. One thing about the Nets going forward, you gotta be happy with our owner. This guy is willing to spend, bring in the talent, and do whatever is right for the team. Make them players in the market. I am happy with Jason Kidd as manager. He has proved me wrong. Now, will this be the case with other new coaches coming along? That's to be determined. But until next year, Met fans, let me know what your thoughts are. Leave me a message, comment below. Thank you for watching, and until next time.